Hello, this is Wmpyr here to share my 2 cents on knife boxing with you guys. So knife boxing is what a lot of times it's knife in the reverse grip. It doesn't have to be, but a lot of times it is. And you're throwing boxing techniques. So, in boxing you have jab, cross, hook, uppercut, overhand, right? So you're just throwing combinations, boom, 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 bam, 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 right? You're throwing your boxing combinations but with a knife. And the benefit of knife boxing is that it's relatively simple. And because it's simple, it's accessible. So in a real life situation, you could teach a soldier knife boxing, and if they're ever in that situation, pull out the knife and they could start doing it, right? So in that sense, very accessible. Especially compared to some other martial arts styles that to me is a lot more complex, uh, and whether you could try to even use it, not at first, because a lot of times you're just mostly doing conditioning, forms that you don't even understand. Um, you're just busy memorizing the forms and just repeating the forms, trying to put them into muscle memory, and you're not even sure how to use that yet. You're just holding horse stances, trying to get the stances right. That's what you're doing in the beginning. So compared to something like that, knife boxing is a lot more accessible. So I like that. Um, the problem I have with knife boxing is that at the end of the day, boxing is rock'em sock'em robots. Okay, which means you're going to be exchanging. I understand that the sweet science of boxing is to hit them and you not get hit. It's just that nobody expects that. That's more like a goal that's like under ideal circumstances, but nobody expects it. They will tell you, you go to a gym and you're going to spar, the first thing they're going to tell you is you're going to get hit, right? So they expect it. So it is going to be rock'em sock'em robots, but if you do that with knife boxing, it's rock'em sock'em robots with a knife, which does not make sense because the knife is too strong. With way less effort than a punch, you could kill somebody. You could disembowel somebody. You could really, really injure somebody. So it's just way too risky to be doing an exchange, rock'em sock'em robots, when knives are involved. It's just way, 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 way too risky. It doesn't make sense to do it. So the only way knife boxing would work in a real life situation where you could survive and come home safely is that the opponent is unarmed. They don't have a weapon, and you have a knife, which legally, try to make sense out of that. You're going to be in big trouble. Or, you have the knife and you're going boom, boom, you're doing knife boxing, you're throwing your combinations, and they are intimidated. They're going, whoa, whoa, I don't want any part of that. So they're backing up and you're dominating. So it would have to be a situation like that where you're completely dominating, which once again, legally, good luck. Good luck to you right there. So, that is definitely something to think about with knife boxing. Because if the other person is game and they're not intimidated and they're bringing it and you're not backing down and you both have a knife, then both of you are walking into a pit of fire. Both of you have a very small chance of coming out of there unscathed. So it's going to be very, very bad for probably both of you. And that's not good strategy to me. It's not good strategy at all. So, that to me is kind of like the problem that I definitely see with knife boxing. Because there are people on YouTube that just they seem to think incredibly highly of knife boxing. I've always said to you guys that knife boxing to me is a backup plan. So for some reason, if I'm not thinking straight, or I just got tagged and I'm, not all there, I hope knife boxing would come out. And that way it's better than nothing. And I still have a fighting chance to protect myself and to survive. So in that sense, knife boxing for me is a backup plan. And I've said this to you guys before, but I feel like knife fencing is the better choice. Why? Because if you're doing knife fencing, then I feel like you could do more the sweet science of boxing, which is to hit them without getting hit. Now, of course, there's plenty of ways to fence and turn it into an exchange. There's plenty of ways to fence and take risks, or make it into a speed game. Or there are some fencing where I hit them and they also hit me, but I hit them first and I hit them in a better target. So in combat, who cares? If they hit me, what about the next person? Or how do I even go home after that? So, but if you fence defensively for survival's sake, I feel like that is the best way to use this in a self-defense situation. So I feel like fencing is the way to go. Knife fencing is the way to go, not knife boxing. Now, like I said, that sounds like I'm totally against knife boxing and I don't train it. Like I said to you guys, knife boxing is my plan B, so it is there. And yes, I do recommend it, but I do think you need to understand what it is. And hopefully in this video, I made that a little bit clear. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.